Welcome to this episode of Mindful Medicine. I'm your host, Tracy Jones, and we're here today with Dr. Jim Schrenker. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again.
Well, you're welcome. I would like to talk a little bit more about the blue zones.
Sure.
You had mentioned in one of our prior episodes about 4 pillars that we use here at IHC.
Right.
Let's talk about diet a little bit.
Okay. Well, diet is probably the most controversial thing that we talk about in the clinic because everybody has their opinion on what is the best diet for them. I mean, you have carnivore diet, you have the lion's diet. The lion's diet is eating only meat and meat only. You have the carnivore diet, which should be meat and meat only, but it has some other non-starchy vegetables that you can get in there. And then you have any other type of diet, but let's distill it down to Mediterranean diet, vegetarian diet, and vegan diet. Those are kind of the diets that I hear most about. The diet we recommend the most by far is the Mediterranean diet because it has a lot of variety of food. You know, you have your fish, your seafood, your poultry, and then all your fruits and vegetables. What people don't understand with the carnivore diet is you cannot be on the carnivore diet a couple days a week. You have to be on the carnivore diet every day forever in order to get the benefits of it. If you go off the carnivore diet, you're going to lose those benefits. So first of all, you're only going to eat one type of food for the rest of your life. You're not going to ever eat a piece of breaded meat. You're only going to eat real meat, and that's all you're going to eat. So you can have cheese and you can have eggs to some degree, but some cheeses you can't because they have too many carbohydrates in it. You know, so you got to watch that even. It's whether the diet works or not, nobody can do it. So it's really not even a starter because if you're going to eat carnivore for 2 days a week and then you're going to eat whatever you want for 2 days a week, you're going to be dead, you know, from your diet.
Right.
And the lion's diet, that's the same issue with that, of course.
I have never heard of that diet before.
Yeah. I hear, yeah. And then you got the Mediterranean diet, and the Mediterranean diet has a wide variety of food. If you're eating anything other than a vegan diet, which is plants only, no dairy, no meat, no cheese, no nothing, just plants, there is no calorie restriction. There's no calorie restriction and there's no time restriction. You literally could eat at midnight because you're burning all the calories up. Anything other than that, even a vegetarian diet, you have to limit your calories and you have to watch the times that you eat. What people don't understand is that your gut microbiome controls all this. Your gut microbiome controls the absorption of the calories. They control the synthesis of proteins in order to absorb it. And your gut microbiome takes roughly 2 weeks to adjust to whatever diet you choose to do. So if you're eating the carnivore diet, it's not for 2 weeks that you're actually getting that much energy out of the carnivore diet. Your body is passing a lot of that energy through in the stool, which is why people see a fairly large weight loss in the first few weeks of it because you're not absorbing the calories because your body can't. But after 2 weeks of just the carnivore diet, your gut microbiome is going to change. And then all of a sudden your body has figured out how to use the meat to make all sorts of things from it, even back engineering carbohydrates out of the meat, right? But what happens when you have the biscuit at Texas Roadhouse? Now you've thrown this white sugar, white flour into your body. Your body doesn't know what to do with it. It goes straight to your belly, and you've blown everything in your diet, and now your gut microbiome is a mess. So you have to eat similar type foods all the time in order to maximize your gut microbiome. That's why we like the Mediterranean diet, because there isn't anything that you can't eat with the Mediterranean diet. Your body's going to be able to absorb it. And it all boils down to calories in, calories out. You know, so, you know, eat 2 Pop-Tarts a day, you're going to lose weight. You'll be dead, but you'll lose weight. You know, if you eat a well-rounded vegetarian type diet or Mediterranean type diet, you're going to have every nutrient and you're going to feel good and you're going to live longer.
Right.
So,
and a lot of that you can find at a farmer's market
right.
or people who raise their own gardens. So,
right.
You know, it's good food.
Yeah. So I mean, the bottom line with what we do here is we really want people to do that old 80-20 plants versus animals. Of the animals, I like it to be poultry and fish and seafood. Now, of the animals, if you do the old 80-20 again and do 80% poultry and fish and seafood and 20% red meat and pork, then that's a survivable diet. And if you do the right calories, you're going to feel great and your numbers are going to look good and you're not going to have a problem.
Right.
So it's not all or one. It's just being consistent and eating good, real, whole food.
You mentioned 80-20.
Mm-hmm.
So I have heard something else, which is stop eating when you're 80% full.
Yeah, how hard is that?
It's very hard. It's very hard.
Yeah.
But can you explain that a little bit? I mean, I know some. Let's say I am at a restaurant somewhere and I've been eating my food and I'm like, okay, I'm full. And
Right.
then you get up and you start to walk out and you're like, oh my gosh,
Right.
I am stuffed.
Right.
I overate. So explain that 80% stop when you feel 80% full.
So if you can stop when you feel 80% full, you're probably already 110% full anyway. There's just a delay between expansion of the stomach and releasing the hormones that says, okay, I'm done eating. So the whole theory with that is you're actually stopping when you're full, but your brain just hasn't caught up to your stomach yet. Excellent advice, just hard to do. I mean, usually if I'm going out, I'm full after the appetizer and then the entree gets there and I'm like, okay, I'll eat it anyway.
Right.
So trying to do, that's just a way to portion control. So if you could do that, it's a lot better off.
Well, and here's something else I have read, especially in the blue zones, is in a lot of the blue zone places, they eat their smallest meal toward the end of the day.
Right.
Whereas we save up
Right.
and probably have our largest meal at the
Right.
end of the day. How does that affect your overall health as far as what the blue zone covers?
That's physics and biochemistry and energy management 101. So whatever you eat is energy. That's all it is. The energy category for food is a calorie. And it doesn't matter if that calorie came from white flour or if it came from leaf lettuce. 15 calories is 15 calories of energy. What matters, the source of the calorie matters in how well you feel and how long you live. So the whole point there is you're eating your biggest meal of the day. It's 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, and you're going to go watch a couple TV shows and you're going to fall asleep. All of that energy is going to be stored because you're not using any of it. What my patients have heard me say for years, if it's at all possible, is eat a little bit earlier and then just go for a walk. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, go for a walk afterwards to get that metabolism moving. But in the blue zones, they're certainly eating the vast majority of their calories when they're burning them off. So if I'm eating 2,000 calories a day at lunch, I'm going to have burned off 1,500 of those calories if I have a job by the time I eat my evening meal. Well, if it takes me 1,800 calories to live, I'm in a calorie deficit going into my evening meal. And if I can just be on a calorie neutral diet, I eat another 400 or 500 calories, and then I'm good. So, you got to look at what's your basal metabolic rate, what calories does your body need. And the way you find that out is you can get on any chart. You look at your height, and that will give them a pretty good idea of how many calories you need. So for females, 5'6", you can roughly say you need 1,600 calories a day, maybe 1,500 calories a day. 5'5", 1,500 or 1,400. 5'10", probably around 1,800 to 1,900 calories, maybe 2,000 if you don't have a sedentary job. So that's kind of how you figure out your calories. And then, that's the maximum of calories that you want to eat on a given day just to survive. If you eat more than that and you're not working out, you're going to gain weight.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're trying to lose weight, you may want another couple of hundred calories less than that and work out.
Mm-hmm.
So, you want to eat early as best you can.
Right. And kind of be strategic about it.
Right.
So
Right.
depending on your job, like my job, I'm more at my desk, so I should eat my calories earlier in the day.
Right.
And that way I have longer during the day to burn those off.
Right. And if you look at a vegan diet, which is just plants, The reason there's no calorie restriction and the reason there's no time restriction is because you are burning 100% of that calorie. You're burning it. And you can't eat 4,000 calories of plants. Your body just can't. I mean, you will explode. The fiber and everything in it, you just can't do it.
You will literally.
Right. The only reason any human being can eat 4,000 calories a day is because we've combined it into a Big Mac or a Whopper. I mean, 1,800 calories in that one thing, when 1,800 calories should literally been a 4-course meal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's how we're able to get so obese in America is we have so many calorie-dense foods that have no nutritional value, so your body's hungry.
Right.
Your body just wants you to eat all the time because it needs the nutrients. Just switching to whole foods. Just switch to whole foods. You got to buy food anyway. Might as well not have an ingredient list on it. It's going to take a little more preparation, but there's nothing else that's going to work. I mean, you got gastric bypass, you got sleeves, you got injectables, you got pills. All of them do the same thing. They lower your appetite or they lower your ability to eat calories. They reduce your calories. That's all they do. None of them make your body work any better. You just eat less food and you lose weight. 98% of the people on Ozempic or tirzepatide will gain 10% more than they lost 3 months after they stopped the shots. I mean, you lose 30 pounds over a year and 3 months later you gain 35.
Right.
So,
and just because you lost those pounds does not mean you are healthy. It does not mean you have those nutrients in your body.
Well, the problem is 15% of that weight loss was muscle and bone and tendon, but 100% of the weight gain was fat. So you've made yourself less healthy by doing it. I mean,
right.
I mean, you've increased your fat footprint of your body by 20, 30% when it's all said and done. So no, it's not good. What should people do if they want to do those? Change your relationship with food. You know, try fasting. Try fasting. Try intermittent fasting. Try 24-hour fast. Do a 3-day fast. Convince yourself that you're not going to die if you don't eat. You know, get rid of that dependence on food and change your carbohydrate load because carbohydrates are addicting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Change your relationship with food. Use a little bit of a shot for a couple months to kind of get your appetite down, get your stomach shrink. Change your cabinets to whole food. And yeah, I'm okay with that.
Right. And on the money side of it, I know there is, I guess how you say it, people go around saying, well, it costs a lot to eat healthy.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
And it doesn't.
No.
And especially even if you look at the health aspect of it,
Right.
if you don't eat healthy, and then you have to spend all of this money on doctor's visits or Ozempic or this or that, that's a lot of money.
Well, what people don't, there's two things there to uncover. Not even figuring in the cost of being unhealthy. It's the cost of feeling poorly every day. I think that's not a monetary thing. But these people that are eating more food and eating processed food, they're eating a lot. So if you go to a plant-based diet, a calorically appropriate plant-based diet, you're buying half the food you bought before.
But it fills you up.
Right.
Better.
Right. And you feel better and everything is better and everything is better. Everything. You know, your blood pressure, your blood sugar, your cholesterol, you know, your skin, your sleep, your sex, everything is better once you start losing weight natural way and exercise and things like that. And it ends up being free. I mean, you got to eat. You just don't need to eat that much. And if you're going to eat a little bit of food, eat real food.
Right.
So, but it's hard to convince people of that. And it takes more preparation to make a stir fry of vegetables than it does to make a steak
Right.
and a potato.
Right.
So
It does. But we can kind of bust the myth. Eating healthy does not necessarily cost more.
no, we did it. We went over to the restaurant across the street, and Brandy and I did it on a couple occasions, and added up people's grocery lists that they bring in, and then go over there and buy similar amount of food. It doesn't cost more. It's about the same. usually a little bit less if you buy calorically appropriate portions. You're going to the store more often.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because
it
it's a
doesn't
fresh
have the
vegetable.
preservatives
Right.
in it.
You're going to the store more often. So,
Right.
yeah, but it is what it is. I mean, the only thing that we try to do is enable people to take better care of themselves. That's the information. What are you going to do with it is up to you.
Right. Well, thank you very much.
You're
Another
welcome.
wonderful talk.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching this episode of Mindful Medicine. Remember, you are loved.